What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ring the Bell. My name is Joey, and of course we have the
interdimensional Shiro, Moxie Molly, and we have a very special guest today.
Me, Casey. Sorry, I just introduced myself.
So, Casey, you are a well-traveled wrestler. We started training together down in Florida, and I've seen that you've made your way up to Chicago a few times.
I have. I was actually there with MLW. I went there with Wrestle League. I'm just trying to get my name out there, you know?
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's NXT because y'all, much like Raw, we got a lot of women's content this week on NXT. First match of the night. That match was the tag team match of Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai going one-on-one with Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox. Y'all, I'm in love with Raquel Gonzalez.
Yes, thank you. Like, I was literally not wowed by anything this week except for Raquel Gonzalez.
I was wowed by her a lot, but I loved me some Shotzi in this match too. I thought she was great.
I mean it as in, I don't really have a boom blast, but if I had to pick something, it's just Raquel Gonzalez altogether.
She's totally, like, amazing right now. I feel like her switching her character, because she did that, like, I want to say, like, cowgirl-ish, I guess, gimmick with the chops and stuff like that. And I don't think that really fit her. I definitely think pairing her with Dakota, with somebody who's, you know, better at promos and better in the ring and stuff like that, just more experience overall. I think that'll be good for her learning-wise, but it'll give her time to, like, come into her own character and to develop herself better. But I love her.
If they, like, sooner had put them two together, like, they would be one of our most dominant female tag teams right now.
Oh, I'm calling them right now for the future. I think Dakota and Raquel going for the tag team championships is what's going to bring those belts to NXT.
Raquel Gonzalez doesn't wrestle like you generally see a bigger kind of tall lady. Like, she's not resting on her laurels with just choking on the rope and just hair bails or whatever. I think Raquel is writing a whole new story and taking being a big girl, and that's nothing about weight, that's merely in height. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's taking that being a big girl wrestler to the next level. Like, she's going to make all those other girls, there's even some in AEW that rest on their laurels of being a big girl. She's going to make them have to get agile and have to have good cardio and have to have a move set. And I'm here for it.
And she's, like, doing, like, her new finisher. It's so smooth, and she does it with ease. Because, you know, when you see bigger guys do it, they do that, like, I gotta lift somebody up type deal. Her, she's like, nope, gotcha, bam.
And I like that Raquel, even though she's a newer wrestler, so Shotzi came in a little low, and Raquel, she didn't have to strain to give Shotzi another lift up, but, like, because she felt like Shotzi was so low, I think it's such, like, almost a veteran move to take a breath, re-lift her up, and she re-lifted her up with ease. And
so many athletes and wrestlers out there, they just want to get their stuff in. Of course, they care how it looks, but they just want to get it in that moment. They don't want to take that pause and actually get the person in the correct position. But I did notice that as well. So good on her for that.
Yeah, I don't think she's wrestling like a newbie. She's wrestling like a veteran.
But the thing about this match, though, was I can't really remember anything that either Tegan Nox or Dakota Kai did. It was all Raquel and Shotzi, and both of them brought it.
Yeah. I started to feel like Tegan Nox had some fire, because before we were saying it seems like she's lost a lot of her sparkle. At the beginning of the match, I felt like she came in really hot and had almost that glimpse of who Tegan used to be. But by the end of the match, is gone.
She's got a lot of what I call body charisma, where, like, what she's doing seems fluid, but she doesn't sell with her emotions very well. So I think she just needs to work a bit more on emoting, like, what she's doing. Like, you don't see frustration build from her too often, or even anything. It just took a little bit more of emotion, I think, will bring out that star quality for Tegan Nox.
I actually liked her comeback. You know, the typical bump a bigger person, they don't fall, bump a bigger person, they don't fall. A lot of people just go directly to that. I like that she, you know, lit her up with those strikes in the beginning. And some people don't really think about that. Like, I personally probably wouldn't think about that. But she lit her up with those strikes, and then they kind of progressed into doing that whole little bump spot where she did the whatever tackle or whatever, and she didn't bump. And then I don't think she, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think she bumped until, like, the very, very end. Because she put her in the corner. She did the uppercut. I like that.
The match saw Raquel get the win with the one-arm powerbomb.
Yes.
What do we think is going to be the outcome with this? Because kind of now we're shying away from the Dakota Tegan Nox storyline finally and moving on to something else. Is this just going to be a tag team fight, or are we going to see these two separate?
It's going to turn into something where like Dakota Kai gets too confident and then starts to try to talk it down to Raquel, and Raquel's going to turn on her. But as far as the four of them against each other, I don't think it's going to be much of a storyline.
It seems like they're trying to build a storyline here just because it's like, oh, these four women don't like each other. But
yeah,
we'll see if that continues for another week or so. So speaking of the future of NXT, we get to learn a lot about it this week because lots of lady promo. We got a promo from Io Shirai. We got a promo from Chelsea Green and Robert Stone. We got a promo. Yeah, we got a promo from Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. And then we got a promo before and after a match with Charlotte and Mia. NXT promos, they are freaking good these past 2 weeks. The Io Shirai promo built her up to be a star, even though she didn't really need it. But it wasn't also that standard promo where they're like, oh, I'm Io Shirai and I'm coming for the belt. Dun, 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 dun. No, she laid out what she came here to do and why she's going to do it in such a nice way. I loved it.
You know, that promo with Io Shirai, whatever NXT did, that video package, how they did it, I think it's fine. I don't understand why we don't have more promos like that.
Right. Same. I love that they didn't force her into speaking English.
Right.
And
I mean, the one last sentence was fine.
Exactly. If her English isn't good or if their English isn't, great, why force them into speaking something that's going to be uncomfortable for them? It's so much smoother and easier, and it's just better for them, I feel, to speak what their native language is.
That felt very fluid, and plus we don't need them speaking English. We've learned that from the Kabuki Warriors and how they tried to make them do it. And now, since they've transitioned into doing these Japanese promos, we fell in love with these characters.
I think having just the last line with her accent almost made that last sentence even more like intimidating and devastating. She's got such a star quality.
I can't wait to see her go one-on-one with Charlotte Flair. That match is going to be insane.
And since we're on promos, can you tell me how you felt about the Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae promo?
Okay, I was salivating at my television over this promo. It was so good. I thought it was so put together. I didn't want them to do a dark Candice LeRae turn because they've done that with so many faces over the last 2 years. So I was just like, I don't want to see her automatically flip to being the bad guy. But she didn't. They flipped both of them into being like, okay, we've been the good guy for so long. We're just not going to be nice, but we're still going to be trying to be faces at the same time. So it's kind of that delusional kind of heel deal. And based off that promo alone, hopefully they can back it up in the coming weeks. But I love that promo.
I'm going to get slaughtered in the comments for saying this.
Uh-oh.
But I think Johnny Gargano sold that, and Candice wouldn't be able to sell that angle herself. No. It seems a little ingenuine coming out of her mouth.
If Johnny wasn't there, I feel like it would have kind of been lost. I love Candice. I feel like he's a better heel than she is. She's so nice. Like, she's super nice and bubbly. But I think having her with Johnny and doing this kind of subtle heel turn / not heel turn / we're still the good guys, like you were saying, being with him will help her progress.
I think what Candice is doing and Candice and Johnny together are what actually Bailey should be kind of giving us that feel. I think that's what they were trying to do, and it didn't work. So now it's turning into the role model thing.
I agree with you guys on saying that I don't think Candice could do this by herself, but then again, Candice's most interesting angles have been when she's partnered with Johnny. It's never really been anything by herself yet in WWE. So maybe this and a little bit of a character change and some motivation will finally take her away from being, plain old flour, and now she can be a spice and will be good.
Some people are just tag team wrestlers. They feel it more when they have someone that is there to face the challenge with them. And I think maybe, at least on the big screen on national television, maybe Candice LeRae is she needs to be paired with someone to make her feel confident. Just like how we were saying we were missing the Tegan Nox that was always with Team Kick and with Dakota Kai. Maybe now being with Shotzi, it was easier for her to get a little bit of that sparkle back. But then once they, like, you know what I mean, stopped doing tag team stuff, it was gone. So maybe both ladies are just tag team people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are just tag team people.
But I also do want to give one credit to Candice. She put her gripe out there of like, no one came to help me and no one cares about me. And she's the first person I kind of sat back and looked at and went, you know what? This is kind of true. No one did come and help her, period. Like,
no, and I feel like kind of the direction they're going in, because like Johnny has been in NXT for years. And I feel like even though he's given these big opportunities, just a win, something is always above it or something is always better than it. So I feel like maybe that is the direction they're going in. I mean, people say that online all the time, you know, Candice never gets opportunities. Johnny's always just Johnny. Maybe they're taking real life stuff or situations or feelings and putting it into the storyline, which obviously is going to make it better because, you know, people actually feel
it more.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a promo from Chelsea Green and Robert Stone, who were sitting poolside, and I love this promo. It was a lot of fun. It was cute. This is what I think I needed from her before she debuted on television. Like this whole setup of those two just going back and forth. Because that little promo that they did with those two established their characters together more than anything they've done on television so far. It was funny. It was refreshing. It was just a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it.
Like, I'm a huge Chelsea Green fan. I feel like anything she's given, and not even just, you know, in NXT and in any company she's been in, and she's always made the best of it. Everybody just says Chelsea Green only got signed because of Zack Ryder, blah, blah, blah. Chelsea is like a very hard worker. Whatever opportunity they give her, I feel like she'll A, make the best of it again, and B, I feel like it'll bring them viewers, it'll bring them money, it'll bring them what they need. So I hope that she goes far there. I hope that this whole brand goes far. And I don't want to see them add anybody into the Robert Stone brand yet. I kind of want to just have it be Chelsea and him for now, and see what happens from there. But I'm excited because she does really well on all of her projects.
I think now we should go ahead and move on to
Mia Yim and Jessie Kamea or Kamea. And this is who I was going to say. I don't get your gimmick.
I don't understand.
How did we get rid of Deonna Purrazzo? But you're here this swing.
Oh!
The shade.
I didn't know who she was, and then as I was like, Jessie who? She was Jessie Elaban when she was in the Mae Young Classic. Like, she was a dorky, kind of nerdy gimmick in the Mae Young Classic. Like, she came out with like the shirt tied around her and like the dorky kind of big giant glasses. That character to me resonated a bit more than what the bad girl type gimmick she's trying to do now. I was just like, okay, I don't like the gimmick too much, but you're facing Mia Yim, so you're losing.
So I feel like Mia is definitely like a star. She's going to be really big, I feel, in NXT. Speaking on Jessie and all the shade.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
I used to get so much crap about having pants that were ripped and then like little crop tops, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm an indie wrestler my first year having matches 6 months in. I don't even know who I am as a wrestler yet. I feel like when you're in NXT, you don't get paid like crap money. I feel like you get paid a decent amount, enough to at least get a solid set of gear. I don't I feel like be seeing stuff off of Amazon.
Yeah, no, I feel like they're in Florida. Someone in that town has some gear she could have borrowed.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some great seamstresses down in Orlando.
Right.
Santana makes gear.
But anyway, she wore bad clothes. She got beat by the Protect Your Neck. It was a solid match. It was short.
It wasn't bad. Like
squash.
But what happened afterwards with Miss Charlotte
wants to get
Flair?
the Charlotte so bad.
I know.
I do. I love her. Do y'all not feel that little backhanded compliment that happened at the end of the promo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
I have it too.
I loved it.
You've always been a good hand. And next week, I get to help finally make you one too.
I loved it, but did it sound like it just wasn't spit out correctly. Like, it sounded like it was a little bit off.
Like she flipped her words a little bit or something.
Like, it just didn't land. Like, I was waiting for that nice little like pop of like the ooh, she burned her kind of thing. I think she worded it a little bit wonky, and then it just didn't pack that punch that it needed.
I feel like it was a good promo, especially with that, like, once you realize that it was that backhanded compliment, I feel like it was like, oh shit, did she really just say that?
I'm ready to see what she's going to do, but I can't also in the back of my head focus on Charlotte versus Mia Yim when I'm like, oh my God, we're getting Charlotte versus Io Shirai. Until Charlotte decides to fight somebody, that's it for NXT this week. And then on AEW Dynamite, all we got to see was an awkwardly timed spear from Brandy to Penelope Cruz in the middle of a main event. And then we got a match on AEW Dark between Penelope Ford and Miss Anna Jay, who is the newest signing to AEW.
Two things, because I know people will try to be mad at AEW for not having a women's match, and you know I'm very critical of them, but like we've been bringing up the last couple weeks, I truly don't think it's a slight to the women's division. I think it's the situation. It has to do with COVID. So none of you fans better be in the comments, because come on, there is a worldwide pandemic happening. And two, Anna Jay just doesn't excite me. I don't want to watch my television. Like, I just feel like I'm watching a cookie cutter female wrestler.
Well, to be honest, it feels that way because you kind of are.
She's not even had 10 professional matches.
Yeah, so she's very green.
I don't think that early in anyone's career, even if they were on an indie show, can 100% connect with the crowd. She hasn't even had the experience to try to connect with fans. Now she's got to do the even harder experience of wrestling with no one. Mm-hmm. In the audience. It's less the moveset. Obviously, she can do the moves and she's athletic. It's more just like the performance aspect of it all.
I actually like Anna's look. Magician thing with the hat, and even though her gear is plain and black and ordinary, she does, I guess, kind of have that sparkle. Speaking for myself, if I was offered an AEW contract and I only had 10 matches under my, or not even 10 matches under my belt, I would probably sign it too.
Well, it's time because Moxie,
Joey,
what's your boom blast moment of the week? So, Moxie, I want to go to you first, because at the beginning of this, you said you don't think you have a moment for the week, but did you come up with one?
I really didn't. I'm just going to say, and this is kind of my saying boom blast from last time, I'm really impressed with Raquel. And there's a lot of crazy and dark things happening in wrestling right now. And I feel like Raquel's like, I'm here, I'm in the moment, and I see opportunity. I don't see people's careers ended. I see an opportunity for me to get bigger and better. And I don't know, I guess her as a whole is my boom blast, if I have to pick one.
My boom blast moment, a nice runner-up again for Kip Sabian's butt. But my actual boom blast moment of the week is going to be that one-arm power bomb from Raquel. So Raquel's also my boom blast.
Okay, so I feel like my boom blast would either be the Scarlett promo or the Chelsea promo. We didn't discuss Scarlett.
We didn't discuss Scarlett. Oh my God, I forgot it.
Oh my God, they're gonna go on and on about Twitter if we.
Well, let's talk about Scarlett real quick.
30 seconds, Scarlett, go.
That's gonna be easy because that's literally all we got was 30 seconds of her. We got to hear her talk a little bit. We saw some shoes, and then finally after that promo, commentary was like, okay, we got Karrion Kross and Scarlett coming in. So after weeks of people blowing up my social media being like, did you see the shoe? Scarlett's here. She's finally officially been given a name. She's here. I'm excited for her. But for right now, she's a shoe.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, Moxie.
Where can people find you?
All of my social media is Miss Casey Lennox.
You can find me all across social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Joey_Mayberry. And also, I recently just started Smule. So if you want to sing songs with me, come over to Smule.
And you can find me across all social media platforms at that's THEE, Moxie Molly. And Monsieur DS just added some really cool t-shirts on our Ring the Bell Teespring. And while we are just telling you to spend all your quarantine money, hey, we know you got those rebate checks. Don't forget, we have a Patreon, and don't forget to subscribe and literally ring the bell.
Yes, and get our t-shirts. And Casey, don't you have a pro wrestling t-shirt?
I do have, I have a Patreon, and I do have a pro wrestling t-store. Everything's under Casey Lennox.
Awesome. Well, that was it for this week's review of NXT and AEW. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Casey, thank you so much for joining us to review all of this week.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.